Hi, my name is Jay with Kick Foosball Tables. First off, I'd like to welcome you to the Kick family. Today I'll be walking you through on how to assemble your Kick Legend 55-inch foosball table. Well, with no further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up your box and take a look at the contents. Then you want to go ahead and lay down each piece onto your floor. If you are assembling your foosball table on a hard surface, I do recommend that you lay down a large blanket or a large piece of cardboard. That way you don't damage your table during the assembly process. Next, you want to go ahead and match each part to what's in your instruction manual. After sorting out all the parts in the box, and once you have matched each part to what's inside your instruction manual, if you notice any damaged or any missing parts, or if there's any issue at all, please contact customer support with pictures of your shipping label, box label, the box itself, and the damaged part. Our contact information will be listed at the end of this video. For its assembly, you will need an Allen wrench that has already been supplied, along with the Phillips head screwdriver. However, I will be using my power drill fitted with the Phillips head tip to help speed along this process. For this first step, we are going to be inserting the playing field P3 into the groove that you see here on both end panels P2. Now you want to make sure that when you lay down your playing field, that your graphics are facing down. Now you want to make sure that your end panel is faced down and that your goalie hole and this groove is closest to the floor. Next, you want to insert your playing field face down and slide it into this groove right here. Then you want to go ahead and repeat this step to the other end panel. For step 2 of this assembly, we will be inserting 3 of our H5 screws that you see here labeled in this bag into the inside of the end panel. You also want to make sure that the hole of the nut is aligned with the hole on the side of the end panel. Once you've inserted the H5 nuts to all 4 sides of the end panel, we can go on to step 3 and attach the 2 side panels P1 to both the end panels P2. Now you want to make sure of the side panel that, for one, the wood grain is facing out and that the ball entry hole is facing closer to the floor. We will be using the bolts H3 and washers H4. And before you attach your side panel to the end panel, again, you want to make sure that the nut, the H5 nut that you previously installed, that the hole is aligned with the hole on the side of the end panel. Then you want to match all 3 holes of the side panel to all 3 holes of the end panel. Then you want to attach using your Allen wrench that was provided, and the H3 bolt and the H4 washer. And you want to go ahead and tighten these and repeat the step on all 3 sides. Once we've attached both of our side panels P1 to both end panels P2, we can go ahead and move on to step 4 and securing our playing field to both of the side panels. We will be using our H6 screws to secure our playing field to both of the side panels. You will notice that all the holes on the playing field are all pre-drilled. Okay, now once we've attached our playing field using all 10 of our H6 screws, we can now move on to step 5 and attaching our support braces to the bottom of our playing field. We will be attaching our support brace P8 using support brackets P9 and our H8 screws. Now, one quick note, these holes are not pre-drilled. However, I already have pre-drilled the holes in both the support brace and the side panel. This first brace, you kind of just want to line it up in the center of the playing field and line the bracket up with the already pre-drilled holes. And go ahead and screw in your bracket. You line up your support brace to the bracket. Now you want to repeat this step on the other side of the bracket, and with the other two, you want to space apart about a foot. Once you've attached all 3 braces to the bottom of your playing field and both side panels, we can move on to step 6 and attaching our legs. We will be attaching our right leg P4B to both the side panel and end panel using our H1 bolt and our H2 washers and securing them with the Allen wrench that was provided. You will notice that there are 5 holes here. There are 4 on the end panel and then 1 on the side panel. You just want to match up your right leg to the hole on the side panel. Then secure with your H1 bolt and H2 washer. Alright, once you've attached both of your right legs to the right side of the table, go ahead and repeat this same step to the other side using the other legs P4A. Once you've attached all 4 of your legs to the bottom base of your foosball table, we can move on to the next step, step 7, in attaching our leg levelers to the bottom of our legs. This part's very, very simple. You simply just want to screw down your leg leveler all the way down to the base of your leg. Now, the purpose of these leg levelers is to stabilize your table during play, so that if one side is higher than the other, you can just unscrew a couple turns to even out your playing field. You will also notice this black rubber ring along the bottom of your leg leveler. This is just to prevent the table from sliding during play. Okay, now you want to go ahead and repeat this step to the other 3 sides. After you've attached the leg levelers to the bottom of each leg, you move on to the next step in turning over the table. Now, this is a 2-person job. You want to make sure when you turn over the table that you don't rest the weight of the table on either of the legs. So you want to try and do it in one swift full motion without the legs touching the floor. Part's pretty simple. You just want to go to insert your ball entry socket into the inside hole of the ball entry hole. Then insert your ball entry cup and tightly fasten until the cup is aligned with the top of the table. Insert your H8 screw and tighten. After you've attached both of your side entry cups to both of the side panels, we can now move on to step 9 and attach our slide scorers P11 to both of the end panels. Now you notice that these holes are not pre-drilled, but they have been scored. So you just want to go ahead and line them up over the holes and secure using the H7 screw. Alright, once you've installed both of your slide scorers to both sides of the table, we can move on to step 10 and installing our player rods. After you've attached both of your slide scorers to both sides of the end panel, we can now move on to step 10 and inserting our player rods. Now the most important part of assembling your Kick Legend Foosball table is making sure the rods are all in the right place. Please carefully review your diagram located in your instruction manual prior to inserting your rods.
Here's how to set up the rods and players on your new Kick Foosball table. Place 4 handles on each side of the table in this specific order. Make sure the 4 handles for your home team are in this specific order, as shown in the diagram. Also make sure your players are facing the opposing team and toward the opponent's goal, not the same team or your own goal.
Now to ensure that you install these rods properly on the table, the easiest way to go about this is to lay out all the rods out on the table first. What you want to make sure is that you match up the holes on each rod with what's in your instruction manual, so that you know the equal amount of players per holes in the rods is correct. You also want to make sure that there's a hole on the correct side of the table where the handles are going to go. Now before I insert our player rod and attach our players, I'm going to go ahead and show you a preview of an already assembled table and explain the differences between counterbalance men versus uniform men, and the difference between a 1-man goalie versus 3-man goalie setup.
Counterbalance men versus uniform men. With your table, you will receive 2 full sets of different style of foosball men. 1 set of uniform hard plastic men, and 1 set of ABS counterbalance men. The uniform men are the foosball men used mostly by beginners. If you keep your players and your rods horizontal, they will fall back down to a vertical position. If you keep spinning the rods, they'll just continue on spinning. Whereas the more experienced or regular players prefer the counterbalance men. Counterbalance players mean that there is a weight in the head equal to the weight of the toe. So unlike the uniform men, they will not fall back down to a vertical position if left horizontally, or in any other position. They also don't keep spinning like the other uniform men. This lets the user position the foosball table men to their liking or technique. Again, it's totally up to the player. 1 goalie versus 3 goalie setup. We will be using this already assembled table as a visual example to explain. Now with this table, we have the option to have either a 1-man goalie or 3-man goalie setup. Most beginners and some others prefer a 3-man goalie setup because there is more defense around the goal, making it harder to score, and giving the user more control of the field. Others prefer a more competitive and fast-paced 1-man goalie setup, but it's completely up to you. To have a 3-man goalie setup, you will have 3 players on the goalie rod. You can optionally place the white field lining tape along both sides of the playing field to prevent any dead spots, if any at all. Be careful once you lay the tape down. It is hard to take off without leaving any smudges. If you are looking for a 1-man goalie setup, instead of having the other 2 outer men on the goalie rod, you will replace them with the 4 black stop rings. Next, place the 4 green triangle corner ramps you received on each corner of the playing field. If you had already applied the field lining tape, you can place the ramps on top of it if you ever want to switch back. But if this is your style of play, then either cut the lining tape accordingly so that it doesn't go under the ramps, or don't install the lining tape at all. Finally, screw the ramps in using 4 screws and cover the hole using the 4 plugs.
When inserting your players to your player rod, you want to note that there is a bumper, a washer. You want to slide on all 3 of your men, or however many men you're adding to your player rod. Then add another washer and another bumper. You want to complete by sliding in to the second hole. Now the easiest way to attach your player to the rod is to go ahead and line up the back of the player to the hole in the rod. Then insert your C7 nut into the back of the player. Hold your thumb over the hole. Turn the player around. You want to insert your C6 bolt into the chest of the player. Keeping the back of the bolt in place. And then tighten. Now go ahead and repeat this step to the other players.
After you've attached all your players to your rods, we can now move on to step 11 and attach the handles P6 to the rods using our H9 screws. Now you just want to line up the hole of the handle to the hole of the rod. Then insert your screw and tighten. One quick note, these handles are really high quality. Most other companies have the real cheap slide-on handles. Also, these rods are semi-hollow, so they are durable enough through rough play, yet light enough to let other players have full control of the rod. Also, if you need any rod lubricant, please contact Kick, and we will send you a free complimentary bottle.
Next, you want to slide on your rubber end caps P7 to the other end of your rod.
Your new Kick Foosball table comes with 2 types of foosballs. Smooth, for hard straight shots and fast-moving offense, and soccer or football, which is textured for greater friction, power, and control. Experiment with both to find out which is more exciting for you.
Congratulations! We are now officially done assembling the Kick Legend 55-inch foosball table. You are now free to enjoy this table with your friends and family. I hope this assembly video was helpful. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please visit us at www.kickfoosballtables.com or email us at support@kickfoosballtables.com.